Have you ever been around someone who always manages to look like the one who's hurt, no matter what they've done? Maybe you felt confused because deep down you knew they caused the pain, yet somehow they still walked away looking like the one who had been wronged. That moment of doubt, that sharp twist in your chest, is the power of a narcissist's favorite disguise, the victim mask. This video will take you into the heart of why certain narcissistic women constantly present themselves as the victim. You will see the tactics, the hidden fears, and the emotional traps that can make you second-guess your own reality. More importantly, you will discover ways to break free from the cycle, reclaim your clarity, and step back into your own strength. Before we go deeper, a quick reminder: this channel, Emotional Soulmate, is dedicated to shedding light on narcissistic abuse and emotional manipulation. Every video is created with the intention of helping you understand, heal, and take back your power. Stay with this video until the end. What you'll hear may feel uncomfortably familiar, but it might also give you the exact clarity you've been searching for. 1. The seduction of the victim role. Narcissistic women are masters of emotional theater. Instead of standing tall as aggressors, they step into the spotlight with tears, wounded voices, and trembling words. They convince others that they are misunderstood, mistreated, and deeply wronged. Why do they do this? Because playing the victim is powerful. When others see them as fragile, they attract sympathy and protection. They know human hearts are wired to soften in front of pain, and they use that instinct to their advantage. In the victim role, they can avoid blame, twist perception, and control the narrative without appearing controlling at all. It's not just about lying to others. It's about rewriting the story, so they never have to look at themselves honestly. Admitting guilt would fracture the carefully polished mirror they stare into every day. To protect that fragile reflection, they choose victimhood over accountability. 2. Escaping responsibility through blame. One of the most damaging aspects of the narcissistic victim act is the way it erases responsibility. Every conflict, no matter how small, becomes proof that someone else is cruel, unfair, or neglectful. If you point out their mistakes, they flip the script so quickly you end up wondering if you're the one in the wrong. The phrase often used for this is blame shifting. They refuse to hold the weight of their own actions and place it on your shoulders instead. Over time, this can break your confidence. You may start to question your memory, your judgment, and even your worth. This cycle is not just unfair, it's destructive. When you constantly feel responsible for someone else's emotions, you lose touch with your own. The narcissist thrives in that fog of self-doubt because it makes you easier to control. 3. Exploiting empathy, like a weapon. Empathy is one of the most beautiful human traits, but in the hands of a narcissistic woman, it becomes a weapon. She knows how deeply you care. She knows how quickly you want to fix things, offer comfort, and take away someone's pain. That's why the victim mask is so effective. Each tear, each story of betrayal, each sigh of exhaustion is crafted to hook your compassion. And once you're hooked, you're more likely to give in to her demands, silence your own needs, and offer endless support. The cruel truth is that the empathy you give freely is not returned. Instead, it's consumed like fuel, keeping the narcissistic cycle alive. You become the caretaker, the fixer, the one who absorbs the hurt, while she reaps the benefits of sympathy and attention. 4. The power play behind the mask. On the surface, the victim act looks like weakness, but underneath, it's a calculated strategy of power. By making you feel like the aggressor, she flips the dynamic. Suddenly, you're the one who has to prove your innocence, defend your intentions, or repair the relationship. This is what makes it so dangerous. The victim mask disarms you. It makes you lower your guard, feel guilty, and question your actions. Meanwhile, she maintains control without ever raising her voice or openly demanding power. Think of it like a chess game. While you're busy explaining, apologizing, or comforting, she's already 3 moves ahead, setting up the board so she always comes out on top. 5. The fear of abandonment. Beneath all the manipulation, there is a deep, hidden fear that drives this behavior. Narcissistic women often live in constant dread of being abandoned. Their fragile sense of self cannot handle rejection, so they cling tightly to whatever keeps people around. Playing the victim is a way to secure attachment. If you see her as wounded, you're more likely to stay, to protect, to nurture. She doesn't risk being left alone because she has woven herself into your sense of duty and compassion. But make no mistake, this is not genuine vulnerability. It's vulnerability performed with a purpose, to keep you close while she maintains control. 6. The emotional cost on you. Living with or loving someone who constantly plays the victim is exhausting. You may feel like you're carrying an invisible backpack filled with stones, guilt, confusion, frustration, sadness. Each day, the weight grows heavier. Your needs fade into the background because you are always responding to her crises. Your truth becomes blurred because her story overshadows yours. Over time, you may lose sight of who you are outside of her narrative. The cost is not just emotional. It can affect your physical health, your friendships, your career, and your dreams. When all your energy is spent managing someone else's victimhood, very little is left for the life you deserve. 7. Recognizing the patterns. Awareness is the first step toward freedom. To reclaim your clarity, you need to see the patterns for what they are. Look for these signs. Conflicts always end with her being the injured one. Your feelings are minimized, dismissed, or twisted into attacks. You often feel guilty without knowing why. Empathy feels less like love and more like obligation. Her stories of suffering rarely align with reality. The moment you recognize these signs, you begin to step outside the fog. You start to see that the victim mask is not truth, it's performance. 8. Breaking free from the trap. Breaking free doesn't always mean leaving immediately, though in some cases it must. It begins with boundaries. Boundaries are the lines that protect your peace and remind you of your worth. You can start small, refusing to accept blame that isn't yours, walking away from circular arguments, or taking space when guilt is used as a weapon. Each boundary is a step toward freedom. Healing also requires reclaiming your voice. Write down your truth. Speak it out loud in safe spaces. Connect with people who validate your experience instead of doubting it. The more you affirm your reality, the less power the victim mask has over you. Most importantly, give yourself compassion. You were targeted because of your empathy, your kindness, and your strength. These qualities are not weaknesses. They are treasures. The goal is not to harden your heart, but to protect it with wisdom. 9. Stepping into your power. When you finally step out of the narcissist's shadow, something shifts. You begin to see that your worth has never depended on how well you cared for someone else's wounds. You realize your voice matters. Your feelings matter, and your story matters. Imagine yourself walking through a doorway into open air after being trapped in a small, dark room. That breath of freedom, that clarity of light, is what comes when you reclaim your power. This journey is not about becoming bitter or vengeful. It's about becoming whole again. It's about remembering that you are not a supporting character in someone else's drama. You are the author of your own story. Light beyond the mask. The victim act of a narcissistic woman is convincing, but it is not unbreakable. Once you see it for what it is, the spell begins to fade. You are no longer chained to guilt, confusion, or false responsibility. Your empathy, your strength, your love, they are not tools for manipulation. They are gifts you can choose to give where they are truly valued. And when you protect those gifts, you protect your future. So take this as both a warning and a promise. The mask may be powerful, but your clarity is stronger. The fog may feel endless, but there is light ahead. And the life waiting for you beyond the manipulation is worth every step toward freedom. If this message has spoken to you, let it be a reminder that you are not alone, you are not to blame, and you are more powerful than the mask that tried to silence you. And as always, because YouTube's algorithm tends to favor videos with strong engagement, if you feel this video has brought you value, a simple like and a quick subscribe would mean so much. It not only helps this message reach more people who need it, but also ensures you will never miss the next video that could make a difference in your journey. Thanks all.